we are going to look at now is shading and highlighting. So guys, shading and highlighting is a concept in drawing that makes your diagram looks realistic. So for us to apply shading and highlight to this croquis, we need to create a new layer and name it shading. So let's click here, add layer, and then this is a layer. Okay, let's put it below the color layer and name it shading. So for shading, we need to change our brush. We are going to be making use of the airbrush. So you go to the right side. Oh, sorry, you go to the left side, properties. Then you find the airbrush. This is the airbrush. You choose this with the 22%. Okay. So once you choose your airbrush, you can reduce or increase the opacity here, and you can increase the size or reduce the size here. So the way it works, after finding the appropriate airbrush, you need to find the appropriate color. So we turn on our color palette. So for shading, usually the color we use for shading is the darker tone. So let's go for this tone. That's fine. You can close the color palette. Then let's try it out. This is so small. Let's make it bigger. Okay, I think this is too small. Okay, so this is, let's go for this. I think I should reduce the opacity again and try it out. Let me go for something. Okay, this is fine. So when shading, we are going to shade at all the edges. We'll start with the edges first. Then we are going to demarcate the nose area, the neck area, and the bust area using shades. And you'll see how this croquis will look more realistic. So let's start, guys. So I think this is still big. I'm going to reduce it. Okay, so we are working with the brush at 30. Make sure you are touching the edges. Also ensure you are on the shading layer. So as you're shading, once you get to this part of the croquis that is smaller, like the legs and the hands, you should reduce the size of the brush. You have to reduce the size of your brush. You reduce the size of your brush. We reduce the size of our brush again because this part is smaller. So you increase the size of your brush for this area around the laps. Then for the knees, you can reduce the size of the brush. Then you know usually our knees are not smooth, so we need to do something here. We need to do something to indicate that this is the knee. Okay, so let's reduce the size of the brush and do the leg area. Okay, so we are going to do this other part of the leg. Make sure you are very close to the edge of your line. Do not leave any gap between the line that demarcates your legs and the shading area. Okay, close close every gap. So we are going to work with the hands. I had to reduce the size of the brush again to work with the hands. So shading is actually something that you're going to develop more skills in it with practice. You cannot master the concept of shading in one day. So So for the fingers, we have to reduce the size of our airbrush again because the fingers are smaller. So I'm going to reduce. We are on 12.5. I'm going to take it down to 9.7. Let's try it out. I'll take it down to, okay, 8.5. Okay. So let's do the other fingers as well. With my brush at 8.5. Okay, so we are done with the fingers. Let's look at the neck. Let's increase the size of the brush to 20. Let's increase the opacity. Reduce the size of the brush from 20. So below the chin, we are going to add a little bit more shading, so it gives us this shadow effect. And just follow and do exactly as I do. Okay, so for the breast, so for the stomach, we may want to add something like this. Belly button. Okay, so let's go now to our highlight. So for the shading, we are good to go. The shading, the highlight, we can do it on the same layer. Okay, so we can do the highlighting on the same layer. So what we need for the highlight is a lighter shade. So we turn on our color palette, and we have to choose an appropriate shade to bring out the skin tone to life. So let's go to eyedropper. we choose a lighter shade. I feel like this is too light. Okay, let me try it out. This is not bad considering the fact that I've reduced the opacity, so we can work with it. I'm going to increase the size of my brush. I'm still using the airbrush, so I'm going to apply my highlighter at the center. So let me reduce the size of the highlighter as I go to these other areas. So this is our cookie with shading, contour and highlight. So this is not all. We now have to blend this. We need to blend all of this so it can look realistic. For blending, we are going to use the smudge tool at the left side. So I'm going to click on smudge. This is it. Once you click on smudge, make sure that you are on the shading layer. We are going to start by smudging the darker shades, then the lighter shade. This is okay. If you're smudging and it is too much, you might need to reduce. You might need to reduce the size or the opacity of your brush, your smudge brush. Don't worry if you can't do this well on the first try. With time you will be good at it. We smudge the darker shade. Smudge the darker shade. So where appropriate, you can always reduce the size of your smudge brush. If need be, you can always reduce the size. I hope you can notice the difference that smudge can bring to an image. So the dark layers have been well smudged. You can see, well smudged. So the next thing is going to be the lighter layers. We're going to target the lighter layers. So if you look at the hands, okay, I didn't apply the highlighter to the hands, so let me quickly do that using the airbrush. Yes, I'm still on the airbrush, so, and I'm still on the appropriate color, so I'm just going to apply, yeah, and I'm still on the appropriate layer. Don't forget this, the layer matters. Okay, so I'll go back to the smudge brush. Then let's work on the lighter. Okay, hope you can follow and you can notice the difference. I'm going to reduce the size of my brush. The lower leg is smaller. So these are the part of the leg. So just keep blending and blending the colors, making sure that everywhere is well blended. Okay, the hands, now we do the hands. So now we are going to do the neck. Let me reduce the size of the brush. Okay, so this is our croquis. Our croquis has been smudged and blended. We have a more realistic looking croquis. If you could blend your croquis up to this point, congratulations. So what we have next to blend is we have the face. We need to blend the face, but I'm going to take that to another video. This video is getting really long, so I'm going to stop here and blend the face in another video. Thank you for watching.